do a quick talk about what this project is here. This is all fiber from a bunch of plants. So I started with the nettles, and then I ended up throwing in some mugwort, some willow, and cilantro ended up in here, and then even a few petals from the lily. Got some orange there, I don't know if you can tell. Anyway, so a whole bunch of different plants, and I'm the type of artist who doesn't really research very well, or I'll do some research and then I'll just be like, enough research, I know what I'm doing, and then I'll just jump into it. But it's made a lot more work for myself because I've had to take out so many tough parts. So this is all just like woody bits that were like from the willow and the nettle. I've rinsed this all, but I still don't trust it because it has lye. I used my liquid lye to break down the fibers. So I hope that I cooked it long enough. It said it said 2 hours, and it's been going for much longer than that. So this is all just like residue from the nettles because I was taking all their seeds, and so then you really can't tell, but this is like the little fibers that were attached to the seeds, and there's leaves and stems, so it's a nice dark green. And so I'm gonna rinse it maybe two more times, and then blend it in my my art blender, because none of this should ever touch anything that touches food. And I'm going to be rinsing these bowls very carefully and closely because lye is toxic. It can burn your eyes, burn your skin. People have used it throughout the millennia of our existence on food, because I've seen the process done with corn, and then they just rinse it. So that's really interesting. I just find that so fascinating, the use of lye, which is a derivative from burnt wood, that was seen as a substance to include in processes like this, like of fiber arts and food, digestive processes. So the world of plants is wondrous and amazing. But yeah, I'm excited. Nettle paper. One of my goals is to use as much of the fiber, as much of the plant as possible. So I still have all of the inner pith. I have a lot. I have a huge bucket full of like the woody bits in the middle, and I'm thinking I could probably use them as a form of like cement or fiber, like filler for insulation. But I'm trying to play with the idea of like structures and cement, basically like three-dimensional structures. So obviously these all need to be clipped, and then I have to see how I can use them. But the problem is that I am a collector, and so I have so many plants that are just waiting to be used. Paper can be a nice way to just take all of that and put it in to the mix, as long as you don't have like what's called bast fibers, where they're like more wood, because that's a different process that I have no idea about. Okay. flowers and plant material that's visible, and then on the other side it's just like a smoother side, or less cluttered, I guess you could say. It's still hard to capture the color, but it's quite light, like a nice grayish tone here, and then here we have more eggshellish tan color. It's really hard to tell in this lighting. And then this one was interesting. I had laid this on paper, on a green piece of paper, which now that I know, it doesn't actually come off easily, but it imprinted a beautiful tone. Robin's egg. So it's two-toned. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, so I think these are gonna go into my Patreon. And then I have one more drawing down here. This one I doubled up 2 layers, so it'll be hopefully thicker. And it's just drawing. Fabric is better, much better.